Little microphone cord. Hi, my name's Elisha. I teach bowspring. I was asked a question on YouTube through a comment to break down what is seed hand and what is hero foot. So I'm going to use this opportunity to break down the hands and break down the feet a little bit. Let's start with the hands. Hands are so cool because if we learn to skillfully position them, we can find engagement all the way into our arm. So how neat is that? Just by a subtle pull of the pinky palm, when I say that is like this side of the hand, and the thumb palm together can create an even tonus all through the arm. Let's start with the fingers. Fingers are soft, so they have a yin quality. No crunching the hand like this. Essentially, seed hand is, we can find it by doing this little roop, roop. Sometimes sound effects make things work better, I think. I like to think of this as like a pine cone, or the action of turning on, like screwing something in like a light bulb, whatever. It's super soft. It's like there would be something like a pencil or a chopstick that you're holding on, so the fingers aren't squeezing tight like so. It's not a tight fist. It's a really gentle fist. So fingers are soft. The thumb sits right on top of the second knuckle of the index finger, just like so. There's a couple tendencies with the thumb here. One is to be too extended so that the thumb points upwards, and the other is for the thumb to be too tight, squishing thumbnail points downwards. Ideally, we just want a soft, gentle thumb. The thumbnail is kind of just like straight across. So fingers are soft, little like wrap around, soft fingers like you're holding a chopstick. Thumb rests gently on the second knuckle of the index finger. Cool. The pinky palm and the thumb palm, when we can like find this energy of them pulling together, we can get engagement into our bicep and into our tricep. So the thumb palm, this little meaty guy right here, it engages the whole anterior chain. So this is the front of your arms. We typically don't have a problem engaging the bicep. Usually people are stronger in their bicep. It's like, whoa, bicep, and their tricep fails a little bit. So the thumb, we don't usually have a problem getting engagement into the bicep from. The more tricky one is the pinky palm. Pulling these guys together can allow us to find an even tonus of fascia, so like this even engagement all the way up into our shoulder. So, pinky palm, thumb palm, pull together. Hollowing in the center of the palm. There is more hollows than just the center of the palm, but this guy's super cool. When we can get this guy to hollow inwards, it gives these guys more opportunity to come together. What else can I speak to? The hollowing of the wrist. When we do this seed hand, we can find some certain hollows. So tendency can be for the wrist to be up like this, and then there's a flattening or like a bulging through this. In bowspring, we want the forearm and the wrist to basically be a flat plane, kind of similar to the idea of the thumb, this flat plane, thumbs like pew, this guy pew. When we have this guy kind of leveling out from the forearm, we find a hollowing right here. Another really important hollow that I've started to just like, I love it because it has been the thing that has enabled me to find engagement into my tricep, which is a struggle for a lot of us. So to find this, I usually make my students, my classes are kind of ridiculous, but my students know this, and I make sound effects and I make them do crazy stuff all the time, but I make them do this like whipping action. So it's like, when I do this, you can see that there's quite a dip, quite a hollow here that happens. So it's like this guy's also kind of smoothing out, this guy's hollowing in here, and this guy's hollowing in here. This kind of like action of like a, I don't know, a little hammer from the wrist creates engagement into your tricep. So that is super cool. So I, engage. Going further up the arm, we've got the hollow in the center of the palm, hollow here, hollow in the elbow armpit, and hollow into the actual armpit. So you can see like it becomes like whoop. I think of finding these hollows, in particular the one in the armpit. It feels like a fascia suit. So I'm like, engage, fascia suit, and then it's like whoop. And it's like you get so, I don't know, strong, engaged. The fascia just tightens up. It works. It fires. So those are the hands. Let's talk about the hands on the ground. Kind of the same things happen. In traditional yoga, I used to teach like spread the fingers so wide, and you can see that when you do that, you get like super tight on this side, super tight on this side. Nothing's really strong. Everything just looks like max flex. I used to think like, well, wide hands means more solid platform, which is wrong. It's just wrong. Especially when you learn to go upside down, you really realize just how wrong you were. This isn't very supportive, and there's not much strength that can be found in your hand. When you go upside down, you need the ability to be able to like grip. It's like your little brakes, little sensitive brakes when you're upside down. So when hands are on the ground, we have the same action. This guy, the center of your palm hollows. I like to imagine a little ladybug in the center of my palm. So we don't want to squish the ladybug. The very first knuckle of your fingers, the top paw, that guy is strong. That guy really grips down on the floor, on the mat, whatever you're working with. And then the rest of here can be a little bit more lifted. So you can almost like find a hollowing all along here. Where the finger meets the pad, the paw, so this like little line along here, this guy can connect to the ground as well. Thumb palm, pinky palm, they pull together. Wow. And instead of having the hands like super like flat, super spread fingers, we keep the fingers a little bit closer together. So I like to, like, if you need a check, have a little pinky finger run between each finger. And the thumb's not out so far, it kind of stays in close to the index finger. So the fingers are strong, gripping, little gripping paws. This part where your fingers connect to your palm, it presses down. We've got a little hollowing in the center of your palm, like there's a ladybug under there, and the thumb palm and the pinky palm pull together. Wah! So that's the arms for you. And same thing with the when we're like say in a crouching cat or whatever, the elbow armpits face inwards towards each other. We can even find like a little micro bend here. You want to find that like hollowing, that like suction cup into the armpit. Fascia suit. Let's talk about the feet. Feet are my favorite. So starting with the toes, toes are soft. Toes are soft. So in bowspring, we ground down our toes, whereas in traditional yoga, I remember lifting up the toes and thinking that this, and spreading them so wide and lifting them, and when I do that now, all I feel is like this serious like pressure right on your toe pad, your toe ball. Now I soften through the toes and I ground them down. When I first started doing that, I was like, my toes were just like gripping so hard onto the ground. Not very cool. Desi came around and she was like, soften the toes, like gentle with those toes. How did I get that to happen? I found a little push down, like there was a button under my big toe. So a little push down and pull back. What happens when you do this is the other toes soften. So these little guys this is like the soldier leader. He's like, I don't know what that soldier leader. And these guys are little soldiers. And the soldiers will follow suit when this guy tells them what to do. So if we push the big toe down just a little bit, like that gentle push down of a button and pull back, these guys rest softly on the ground. Super cool. Also, we want to find some hollows here in the bottom of our foot, or some like curves, arches we should say. So a lot of times this toe will be super flat. There's no arch right here, but this is a source curve in our foot. So the little push down and pull back enables this little arch to happen. Second thing, we want our paw right here to be rooted. So arch here, root here, arch here, root here, arch here, root here. Yeah? Looking at the bottom of our foot, I talk about the paw a lot. When I talk about the paw, more weight in the paw, or dig the paw down, drag the paw. This is the paw. It's the toe pads and mounts, this part of the foot. We want to find a spongy, soft quality in our foot so that the toes are soft. It's like this toe paw and your pinky toe paw, they sponge together a little bit like a taco. So this little dip in here, it's like there's a hollowing right there in the center of, right here, right between your toe paw and your pinky paw. Little feet. We typically have more weight in the paw than in the heels in bowspring, so we walk lighter. We can be more sensitive with the feet. Feet are also super cool because when we learn to ground down the feet and push them out to the side, this engages into your whole posterior chain, into your butt. I am a booty queen. I love creating, helping to build beautiful butts. So when I found out how important the feet were in relation to engaging into the posterior chain and into the glutes in particular, I was like, hello feet. So the spongy quality of the feet, rooting down through the big toe, that little push down, pull back to get that first toe arch. Even hovering the heels, putting more weight in the paw. From here we can push the feet down and out to the side. You'll feel it instantly into your back of your leg and your butt. Love it. Let's talk about the hero foot. All right, and this before I go into the hero foot. The top of the foot is soft. It's just soft, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful little soft thing. So even giving your feet massages is super nice. Working with a hero foot is tricky because it means we have to find an action that we haven't usually done. We know the flexed foot, everybody knows how to do that, and the point foot, everybody knows how to do that, but it's somewhere in between. The best and easiest way to find that is with a tactile, with something to push the foot into to find it. So in all fours, you can work with the hero foot by pushing the top of the foot down and gently pulling it back towards the knee. This engages into the whole back line of the leg, all the way into the butt. So this push the top of the foot down, pull back to hollow the ankle. Awesome. So when we have something like the floor to push down and pull back onto, it becomes kind of it's not easy, but it's we can feel it, so we can do it. When we take this into the air, it's a little bit different. Rather than having the mat to work with, we then have to think about working with our brain, linking the brain to the body, which is hard when it's a new movement. You can help yourself by taking a hand just to the top of your foot and then pushing the top of your foot up. Essentially, hero foot is just this front ankle engaging. So pulling the top of the foot up, but not keeping the toes soft, keeping the top of the foot soft, just focusing on this front ankle movement. Yeah, so you can see it's kind of like in between a flex and a flex and a point. But this guy stays soft. The toes aren't going like this, they're not squinching up. It's just doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. And this takes a lot of practice. It took me forever. It was one of the more frustrating aspects, but then you get it, and then you're like, oh. So the hero foot, why the hero foot? Because it helps us to maintain engagement into our leg and butt. When we're standing up, we use the paw a lot, so we can dig forward to send the hips back. So when I say dig, it's like this energy of like pushing the paw down and forward to send the hips back, and then we can drag back the paw, so that dig the paw down, drag it back to engage the whole back line of the leg, lift it up, hold with a hero foot. I'm not sure if you can see in my butt, but going from like I can find engagement into my glutes all the way up right to here with just this little hero foot. So that's the whole point, is being able to maintain engagement wherever your leg is. I think that's it. Hands and feet, fingers and toes. Keep the fingers and the toes soft. Keep the thumb palm and the pinky palm pulling together and find your hollows. That's basically what it is. If you have any more questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a great day.